Hello and welcome to this video presentation, 6 Steps to a Better Business. If you own a business that's doing pretty well, but you wish you could do more for you and your family, then this short presentation will show you what to do about it. My name is Peter Lipinski, a certified business and executive coach with Action Coach. I'm also certified by the International Coaching Federation. I specialize in helping small and medium-sized businesses and also working with business executives and managers to grow and develop their business so that the business delivers more money in the form of profits, more time to enjoy the profits, and develop leaders to get more effective use of their time and engagement of their teams. Now, there is a specific problem with many businesses that I come across and work with that I would like to deal with in this video presentation. That is the problem that's holding those businesses back through no fault of the owners, and it's what's stopping them from achieving their full potential. I will show you the 6 steps to overcome this problem, and then at the end of the presentation, I will explain the best way of implementing those 6 steps in your business. So let's start with a bit of background. In the E-Myth, Michael Gerber explains that there is a common misconception, the myth that all businesses are started and run by entrepreneurs. Actually, most businesses are started by experts, specialists in their field. In other words, what Gerber calls technicians. These are, like lawyers, accountants, plumbers, hairdressers, optometrists, chiropractors, builders, mechanics, and the list goes on. It actually takes 4 personalities to run a business with different skills, abilities, and attitudes. A business needs a technician to take care of the operational side of things. A business also needs the forward-thinking dreamer, the entrepreneur, to take care of the strategy and the creative aspects of marketing, sales, and customer service. The third thing a business needs is a good manager who looks after the finances, systems, planning, and control of the business. The fourth is a business needs a leader to build a team that runs the business and have a clear vision for the future of the business, giving it clear direction. The conundrum here is when a person starts a business, they are the leader, but may lack in skills required, and this can be very, very costly. And therein lies the problem. Often in the beginning, the owner has to fulfill all those roles, at least until other people can be hired to fill those roles. The owner may lack the knowledge to be able to fulfill these roles properly, usually leading to loss of time and money. Now, technicians operated businesses can do very well when there's lots of customers buying and money is flowing well. But, as Warren Buffett said after the recession of 2007 and 8, when the tide goes out, you can see who's swimming without a costume. In other words, businesses fail because they are out of balance. If the operational aspects of the business are far stronger than the other aspects, it can be hard to find enough work for the phone to ring on its own accord. If the financial systems are not robust enough, then the cash flow can quickly become an issue under these circumstances. And if the leadership is weak, this creates high employee turnover and the business lacks directions. My colleagues and I see this every day. Businesses struggling in the current climate because they are out of balance, usually again through no fault of their own. The problem is in our education system. It creates specialists to become employees. We have an educational system born out of the Industrial Revolution to supply the needs of industrialists with skilled workers. So we leave education prepared for employment, but unprepared for business ownership. And it's no coincidence then that the most successful entrepreneurs did not do that well at school. But at some point in our employment, we become the expert and we come to the realization that we can do better on our own, so we give up working for the idiot. That's the one who calls himself the boss. And we start working for the lunatic. That's us, ourselves. Why a lunatic? Well, because we're not prepared for business ownership. With a lack of knowledge in all areas of business, this lunacy results in nearly 80% of businesses failing in their first 5 years. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. The same proportion of those that survive will fail in the next 5 years, leaving less than 15% of businesses reaching their 10th anniversary. And less than half of those that do survive to their 10th anniversary will be making a predictable profit at that point. The stress of lost relationships with perhaps our spouses, families, friends, and the loss of wealth associated with that is sheer lunacy. The question is, can we reduce the probability that our business will fail in the next 5 to 10 years so that you can have a better chance of moving on to true business ownership? To answer this question, first let's look at what I mean by true business ownership and why we should endeavor to achieve it. So in the words of Simon Sinek, let's start with why. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki discusses how cash flow of the wealthy differs from that of the poor and middle class. He explains that the wealthy do differently from the rest and how it concerns business. So, the cash flow of the poor is that they spend everything they earn on day-to-day living, food, accommodations, lighting, keeping warm, the basics. The middle class, on the other hand, diluted in their apparent wealth, spend their disposable income on toys, trinkets, in other words, on liabilities, costing them money. They buy cars and progressively more expensive cars every few years. They buy gadgets, toys, jewelry, and houses bigger than they need to live in. So the middle class spends the majority of their income with little remaining for wealth generation. The wealthy have different cash flows. They buy assets to generate income that they readily use to live on, and then they buy liabilities with them. Their assets include businesses, properties, stocks, and shares in commodities and other asset classes. Almost without exception, the wealthy own businesses. They don't work in those businesses, but they do own them. Why? They own them to generate excess profits with which to buy other assets that generate more income because businesses offer the greatest potential on return on investment than any other asset class. If you run a true business, then the value of that business can be several times the net profit. So, imagine in a single year making a net profit from a business, then selling it for 2, 3, maybe 4 or more times the net profit you just made. Would that be the most profitable year you ever had? Take a look at your business from this viewpoint and think how your life would be different if you owned your business instead of working in it. It is possible if you own a true business. So what do I mean by a true business? A true business to us is a commercial profitable enterprise that works without you, the business owner, having to be there. Commercial in that it involves selling something. Profitable in that it involves making a profit from that activity, not as a loss as many businesses seem to do. And it works without you in that you have a team of people you can trust to run the business for you. So, how do I build that, you may ask? This is where the 6 steps come in. It depends where you already are in your business. But let's start with mastery. And as we go through this, give yourself a score out of 10 for each step based on how well you think you're doing in each area. You will end up with a score of 50 total for mastery, niche, leverage, team, and synergy. So, pen and paper ready. So, mastery. Do you have an up-to-date working business plan in place? Do you operate a comprehensive financial management system? Do you have consistent customer service? And last but not least, do you have time management systems that maximize the use of your time as the owner as well the time of your business? With these things in place, we take a business from chaos to control. So score yourself out of 10 in this area overall. Next, let's move on to niche. Niche involves marketing strategy, marketing plans, sales managing, customer relationships, and managing the profitability of business to generate predictable cash flow. Niche is all about not having to compete on price in order to maximize profitability of your business. So score yourself out of 10 on your ability to compete without having to offer discount and manage profitability of your business. All right, if you've got that score, let's move on. On to leverage. This step involves implementing systems and technology into the business that automate the process that were developed in the first 2 steps and allow them to be delegated to others in the business or to third parties outside the business. So score yourself out of 10 on your ability to delegate all aspects of your business. Okay, take a minute. All right, now we move on to team. This is all about developing your team management and leadership to allow the team to run the system that makes the business work efficiently. At this stage, we implement the 6 keys to a winning team, as well as the procedures necessary to manage the human resources of the business. So score yourself out of 10 on team management, leadership, and human resource policies and procedures of your business. Last, we're just going to look at synergy. Continuous improvement and installing a general manager, which ultimately creates the freedom for you to repeat the business building process in other businesses and buy other wealth generating assets. So score yourself out of 10 on your ability to step back from the business completely and allow it to run yourself. So now you should have a score out of 50 for each of the first 5 steps shown here in the 6 steps. So what score did you give yourself? Hold on to that number because we're going to come back to it in a moment. Now, this system has been tried and tested in hundreds of thousands of businesses worldwide, taking businesses that are out of balance and rebalancing them, and taking owner-operated businesses and turning the business into a true business. At this stage, you can think of the business being a self-contained entity. Like a business in a box with a team of people running all aspects of the business, and your role as the builder of the business in the box is to make sure that the business does indeed generate excess profits required to invest buying other businesses, property, stocks, shares, commodities, or make other investments so that you can climb the next step of the ladder from the business owner to investor and entrepreneur. Hopefully a wealthy entrepreneur who can give something back to the community. At the beginning, I would explain the best way to go about implementing the 6 steps process in your business. So what I recommend is this. If you run a business anywhere in northern Alberta, Canada, or for that matter, anywhere on the globe, and you score less than 40, get in touch with me to see if you qualify for a free business diagnostic session where I'll spend up to 90 minutes with you to get you started immediately on climbing the 6 steps to a better business at no cost or obligation to yourself. Now, if you don't qualify, I will still point you in the right direction with some advice and resources relative to your situation. So do get in touch. I would like to help you if I can. I hope this short presentation has changed the way you look at the business and provided you with ideas to create a true business. For your free business diagnostic, you can contact me or any one of our team members at the phone numbers or at my email address on the screen. Now, all you simply have to do is get into action. Call or email today.